When I was in high school, I was probably one of the most insecure men in the world. I don't know why I was so insecure because I was actually a good looking dude and I was like talented at things. I was good at sports. I didn't play school sports or anything, but I knew I was good at these things. And I was, like I said, I was just a really good looking dude, overall attractive. And I had friends who were popular and they were all really well known, but I was just friends with them. I didn't like associate with other people because I was so insecure. Let's say if a girl, I was staring at a girl who I thought was hot and I'm just like looking at her, fantasizing, thinking about shit, you know what I'm saying? And then she suddenly looks over at me. Immediately, I'm fucking snapping away. I was not looking at her, right? Out of my mind. And I didn't talk to anybody except my close friends. And I had this value on myself based on how I looked. Even though I was actually a good looking dude, even though I was good looking, I thought I was hideous. And it made me have this terrible value of myself. And I was like, I thought I was just not worth shit. And I thought everybody was better than me. You gotta understand, and I found eventually that your value is not based on your looks. You might have so much substance, like you might be very knowledgeable about all kinds of things that makes you fun to talk to. You're good at sports, so people who like that sport probably like you. Like there's so much more to yourself than how you look. And a lot of young guys, especially, think that their looks are so important. And you can look at famous people though, like you see these ugly dudes and they got some of the baddest wives. But we still, for some reason, think that looks are everything. Like, sure, they're famous, and they're probably married because of the fame and the money, but doesn't that prove that looks aren't everything? You can work on yourself in other areas, and it'll improve you as a man. You don't have to be the best looking dude in the world. Sure, you can try to improve your looks and look as best as you can. You should do that, but don't define yourself based on how you look. Be aware of other areas you can improve on. If you suck at talking and you're really awkward, people aren't going to like you. It's not because you're ugly, it's because you're weird to talk to. Like, you can't hold a conversation. So start improving your social skills. Read books about talking, watch videos about talking and improving social skills. And I have videos on that if you need that. But it's not just social skills either. There's so many other things. Like, it's the way you carry yourself. People can tell you're insecure. Like, nobody wants to be around the guy who's insecure like that. As a man, other men will see that insecurity and they can tell you're like submissive almost. If you're an insecure guy, you're most likely going to be super submissive and you're not going to be confrontational at all, and people can push you around. And a lot of that stems from how you look. Like, you'll see these guys in school. If you're still in high school, you could probably think people right now, but there's these guys who are like, you can look at them and be like, okay, they're nerdy, and it makes you not want to talk to them, right? But it's not because how they look, it's because how they behave. Their looks, they almost live up to how they look. But then you have guys who are just ugly, fat as hell, bad, like you can tell they don't keep up with themselves, right? But they're friends with everybody. They might even have like a really hot girlfriend. So you see these people, it's like you don't even think about them. You just think about the guys who are nerdy and act nerdy and they look it and act it. But then you see the guy who could be, like he could look and act it, but he just looks it. But he's still friends with everybody. You ignore this guy and you focus on this guy. You need to be more aware of this guy and see what he's doing right. He has a real bubbly personality probably. He makes everybody laugh. He's just good in social situations, and he actually tries to meet people. And maybe he's, usually these guys aren't the smartest, but maybe he is maybe he is a smart guy. Maybe he's well read, and he's knowledgeable. There's so many different areas you can work on. Maybe even like you can not have anything, but just be really mindful and present, and people will like enjoy your presence just because you're able to deeply listen to what they're saying, and they feel like you're somebody they can come to. You could be ugly as hell, but you might be super mindful. And people will just come to you because they're like, okay, he's fun to talk to. I can tell he's listening. And then get like, pretty much you like their therapist. They're gonna treat you that way. But just get this idea that looks aren't everything, and start developing yourself around that. Right? Keep trying to improve how you look if you're worried about it. And like I said, you should worry about it. Just don't make your self-value based on that. Start developing these other areas. Become great in all of these areas and be a well-rounded person instead of just being like picture a skill. You ever seen like in a game or something where it's like a circle and they have like strength, speed, defense. It's like four, and then they have like little like shapes pointing to it. If you have really strong strength, the arrow is really high up. If you got small speed, it's like a small arrow. Try to get all of your arrows as high as you can. So if say this is looks, and you're getting a little tiny arrow, try to get it, pretty high. Then you get knowledge, intelligence. Try to get as high as you can. All these things, social skills, try to get high arrows in all these areas. Don't just be the guy who has looks. It's a really big skill point there, but these are all tiny. So then, sure, you might look good. People aren't gonna like you though because you suck to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So just try to be well-rounded and become the greatest person you can be. But that's the whole video. If you're interested in this kind of content, please subscribe. I make videos about self-improvement, philosophy, things like that. And leave a comment if you have any advice similar to this or your opinion on it. But yeah, if you have any goals, go out and make it happen.